Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's good to see you here today. We have a group from Kensington here at the J.B. Beck boardroom, but we also have students and faculty and staff viewing us at all the elementary schools in Georgetown County, so we say good morning to you folks as well. I want to welcome the Kensington folks, the administrators and the teachers. In the back today we have our superintendent, Dr. Randy Dozier, and our assistant superintendent, Dr. Pringle. Ms. Patty Hamill's with us today. We're glad that you all could be here. We're going to talk to you today about a very important topic, something that I know that you've discussed in your schools all around the district. We're going to be talking a little bit about bullying, bullyism, the way that we need to be treating one another, the fact that depending on how you treat people and how you speak to people, it can really have a drastic effect on their lives. So I want to introduce to you somebody very special. This is Mr. Mike Dreiblatt. Now, he likes to be referred to as Mr. Mike. So today when he's addressing you, I think he's going to allow you to ask questions and speak to him with anything that might be on your mind. I would ask that you pay very close attention. And for those of you folks that are viewing at your schools, if you have any questions, make sure that you refer those to your teachers, to the adults that are with you, and we will certainly get you answers. If your teachers don't have them, we can ask Mr. Mike to supply the answers, and we will make sure that we answer your questions. Absolutely. So please pay close attention. I think you're going to learn a lot. I think you're going to enjoy the message all the way from Vermont. Say hi to Mr. Mike.
Good morning. All right. Nice greeting. Thank you, everybody. Let me put on my microphone. All right. Well, good morning again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning in the audience that's in their classrooms. My name is Mr. Mike. I'm here to talk to you about bullying, cyberbullying, and social aggression. It's true, I came a very far way to be here. I came all the way from Vermont. I had to take 2 airplanes to get here. All right, this is an important subject. It's something I care deeply about. By the way, audience, can you hear that I speak with an accent? Yeah, I sound a little different, don't I? I definitely do, because I come from a different part of the country. Sometimes when I get speaking, I talk a little fast. So audience back in the classrooms, you might notice that also. In the back of the room, if I start talking too fast, if my accent starts getting a little too thick, somebody in the back kind of tell me to slow down, slow down. Got it? All right, so we're here to talk about stopping bullying, cyberbullying, and social aggression. Let me ask the audience here, how many of you have heard the word bullying before? We've got a lot of hands going up. Good, good. Hands down, hands down. How many for you, bullying is a new word? Nobody. Good, good, good. And by the way, back in your classrooms, you should be participating in this also. So we're all on the same page so that we all have the same information. For today, when we define bullying, we're going to define bullying as the abuse of the difference in power. Somebody has more power, somebody has less power, and those with more power are abusing those who have less power. Get the idea? Get the idea? It's not 2 girls arguing about a seat on the bus. That's my seat on the bus. No, that's my seat on the bus. That's my seat on the bus. It's a back and forth. It's a fight. It's a misbehavior. It might even be funny if you're the one watching it. That's not bullying. When there's bullying, somebody has more power. Somebody has less power, and those with more power really are abusing those who have less power. Get the idea? It's not a fair fight. It's not 2 equals going at it. It's not 2 boys arguing. The ball was inbounds, the ball was out of bounds, the ball was inbounds, the ball was out of bounds. Fight, misbehavior, equals. Not bullying. Not bullying. Here, do it with me. Even back in the classroom, do it back with me. All right, everybody, together. Somebody has more power. Somebody has less power, and those with more power are, that hurts. That's the point. Somebody really is getting hurt when there is bullying going on. When we have bullying, somebody really is being hurt. It's the abuse of the difference in power. Sometimes, when I work with younger students, I will define bullying as being mean or leaving people out on purpose. It's the on purpose part. You know exactly what you're doing. This isn't by mistake. This is happening on purpose. Now, here in the audience, I don't really know who's in the audience. Back in your classrooms, I'm not sure who's friends, who knows each other. So when I say the word go, even back in your classrooms, I'm going to ask that you turn to the people next to you, in front of you, on the side of you, behind you. Just kind of introduce yourself and say hello and let them know who you are. Ready? Go. Blue. 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 What a good audience. You quieted down so quickly. Good, thank you. Sometimes I travel around to schools. I travel all around the country talking to students about bullying and what you can do to stop the bullying. And sometimes I go to a school and there'll be like 500 or 600 kids in the auditorium with me. And I bring this with me. This is called a vibratone. Basically, it's just a very large chime. And sometimes I use it to quiet people down. Want to hear what it sounds like? You guys were actually a good audience. You quieted down right away, but here's what it sounds like. Kind of cuts through, does it? And that's not, that is, you can clap, you can clap. Go ahead. So like I said, it's just basically a very large chime. It's a great way to quiet people down, much nicer than screaming out something horrible like, shut up, or something like that. So. Nice way to quiet people down. So we defined that bullying is the abuse of the difference in power. Somebody has more power, somebody has less power, and those with less power can't easily stand up for themselves. It's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. And if you think about it, there's actually different types of bullying that shows up. There's different types of that abuse of the difference in power. You remember how you just said hello to those people next to you, in front of you, on the side of you, behind you? In a minute, don't do anything until I say the word go. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to talk to those people next to you, in front of you, on the side of you, behind you, about different types of bullying you've seen or heard about. It could have happened in your school. Maybe you heard about it from a friend. It doesn't even mean that it was real. Maybe you read about it in a book or saw it in a magazine. Maybe you saw it on a TV show. We'll talk about those differences of the abuse of the difference in power, different types of bullying. I'll then call you back together and I'll ask you to talk with me again. Are there any questions? Okay, audience back in the classrooms. You will also, when I say the word go, you'll turn to those people next to you, in front of you, on the side of you, behind you, and talks about different types of bullying you've seen or heard about. Ready? Go. Good, good, good. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. No need for shushing. I'm not exactly who came up with the shush idea, but thank you. Thank you. That was very kind of you. Audience in back in the classrooms, you should be stopping about now. By the way, how many of you watch cartoons? I do. Hands back down. I love cartoons. I love cartoons. My favorite cartoon is SpongeBob SquarePants. Love SpongeBob. My favorite character is Patrick. I think Patrick is very funny. I like Patrick. I think Patrick is very funny. I also like Sandy the Squirrel. I like Sandy. I do. Sandy's cool. I like Sandy. Sandy is strong. Sandy speaks up for herself. Sandy knows how to do karate. You know? By the way, have you ever noticed that on TV, in cartoons, when they show a bully, they will often show a physical bully? You know what I'm talking about? Some kind of Popeye Bluto character, some big, large knuckle dragger, gonna meet you behind the slide, pound you in the ground, hurt you real bad, steal your milk money sort of guy. There's some truth to this. There are physical bullies. Physical bullies are action-oriented. They use their bodies. They are not always the biggest. They are not always the strongest. But physical bullies are action-oriented. They use their bodies. These are the pushers, the kickers, the spitters, the kneers, the elbowers. Sometimes it's not even that they actually punch or kick or spit, but they make you think that they're gonna punch or kick or spit. You know what I'm talking about? There you are, you're hanging out in the hallway, you're talking to your friends, and every day there's some kid who walks by and does one of these. And goes like this. You get all nervous because you think they're going to touch you. There you are, kind of short-circuiting down the hall. They never actually touch you, but physical bullies are action-oriented. They use their bodies. Oftentimes, students in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, this is the type of bullying we're really worried about. We're concerned with our bodies. Often on television, when they show a type of bullying, they will often show physical bullying. Physical bullying is the type they often show. And sometimes on TV, they show the most outrageous types of physical bullying. And it is true, sometimes there are students who are really very hurt. Their heads are stuck in the toilet or somebody deep-pantses them in the cafeteria. It really does happen. But don't only think about the most outrageous. Don't only think about those really incredible types. They are real, but don't always go there. Think about the more common type. Like, I'm looking out in the audience, and I see a number of you have longer hair. Imagine you're in class and there's that kid who sits behind you and all of a sudden they start blowing on your hair and you're like, stop it. They can blow on your hair. You can't blow on their hair. Difference in power. You see that difference in power? Imagine you're in class and there's that kid who sits behind you and all of a sudden they start whap, 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 start kicking your chair, whap, whap, whap. Stop it. They can kick your chair. You can't kick their chair. They reach into your book bag. They touch your supplies. You're not allowed to reach into their desk and touch their supplies. They reach into your desk. They break your pencils. You're not allowed to reach into their desk and touch their pencils. Difference in power. The abuse of the difference in power. And my experience has been, if there's a type of bullying that gets caught at schools, it's often physical bullying. And teachers, I'm sorry, but I'm going to talk about you a little bit. Even new teachers who are new to our school, they're really good at catching physical bullying. And it kind of makes sense because it's so obvious. I mean, you could be like a half a soccer field away, and when you see this, even a new teacher goes, ooh, I've got to do something about that. That's not right. Teachers come running. When they see that circle of students surrounding one student and that student can't get out of the circle, teachers come running. They're not always sure exactly what to do, but if there's a type of bullying caught at schools, it's often physical bullying. It makes sense. It's so obvious. And actually, physical bullying is the least common form of bullying. It's the one we worry the most about because we're worried about our physical safety. But this is actually the least common form of bullying. Far more common is a type of bullying called Verbal bullying? Verbal bullying, not gerbil bullying, okay? Verbal bullying. What's gerbil bullying? Really mean to hamsters or something. This is verbal bullying, verbal bullying. Verbal bullying, the difference in power is the use